Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about working as an actuary in a local company versus working in a foreign company. In most of the cases, everything should be more or less the same, but there are still some differences that you'd better be aware of. To clarify what a foreign company is and what a local company is, here are some examples. Since I'm in Canada, the examples of local firms would be Canadian companies like Sun Life, Intact, Cooperators, and Economical. Examples of foreign companies that operate in Canada are Aviva. Although Aviva Canada Inc. is a Canadian property and casualty insurance company, it is a wholly owned subsidiary of the UK-based Aviva plc. Similarly, Allstate and Travelers Canada are subsidiaries of American insurance companies. Lastly, most of the reinsurers in the Canadian market are foreign companies. So Munich Re is based in Munich, Swiss Re is based in Zurich, SCOR is based in Paris, and Odyssey Re is headquartered in Stamford, Connecticut. Okay, now let's get started. I'll explain the differences in the following 6 aspects. First, reporting structure. Foreign companies' reporting structure is likely to be more complicated, providing the main book of business or the headquarters not in your country. So here is an example. The setup is you work in Canada for an American firm, so meaning the company's headquarters and the main book of business are in the US. The Canadian office is a standalone company that has pretty much full autonomy. So in this case, Canada has to report to the US. There will for sure be more reporting layers on the Canadian side, but the frequency depends. And this mostly only affects the AVP and VP level, as they have to report stuff to the US leaders. As an analyst, you probably don't need to worry much. Second, job title. The title might be confusing in a foreign company because sometimes your local office might be asked to align the titles with the headquarters. This can cause some confusions because the two countries' title can be very different. If this ever happens, it's likely to affect everyone in the company, not just the higher-ups. Next, your scope of work. Internal audit is usually required for a foreign firm's local office. That could happen once every other year, or less often or more often. It really depends. Pricing and reserving usually won't get audited at the same time, but it definitely happens. And it is actual work on your end comparing to a local company. Aside from internal audit, for reserving, there are more work. So first, there is the monthly reporting work to the head office. The accounting standard used by your local office and your head office are likely to be different at this point. Canada follows CGAAP, UK follows IFRS, US uses GAAP. With the implementation of IFRS 17 in the near future, it will make our life easier, hopefully, but unfortunately, US is not going to implement it. Another piece of actual work is peer review, and it also only applies to reserving. That might need to be done once every other year or could be every quarter depending on how much autonomous your local office has. Your team has to report to the head office on your analysis result, and the headquarters might get back to you with questions followed by more investigations on your end. If the insurer has their head office in the European Union, then you also have to do Solvency II reporting. So unfortunately, these are all actual works comparing to a local company. I only identified a couple of them. There might be more. To sum up, there will definitely be more work in a foreign company, but that doesn't mean your workload will be heavier because there will likely to be more people on your team. Moving on, getting manpower support. As a foreign company, if you're short on staff, then you can probably get helpers from the headquarters for a period of time until your local team is fully or near fully staffed. That's really great because your team won't get extremely overloaded. On the other hand, your local team might not reach out to the headquarters for help. Yeah, that's just company culture. In that case, it just sucks. In terms of getting technical support, your head office might have developed some in-house models that can be utilized by your local team. This is good for the local office as you guys can save up some dollars, but it might not be all that great to you as an employee, as you will have to learn a brand new model and work on migration if you happen to be with the team during the transition period. To make the model work for your local businesses, there are a lot of work behind, especially data work. And there will always be data problems. So good luck. Lastly, business trip. This almost only happens to companies that are small locally, like reinsurers, where their local offices tend to be quite small. If a company has a lot of businesses in your local country, then it will be very, very rare for you to go on a business trip to the head office. Instead, people from the head office tend to have more business trip opportunities to your local office. In our example, it would be rare for Canadian employees to go to the US, but it is more common for US employees to come over to Canada. Overall, international business trip can happen, but it's not that common in the entire actuarial industry. For most of the Canadian actuaries, the only time you get company paid trip is when you go to the States to attend the CAS spring meeting or annual meeting after you get your ACAS or FCAS designation. In this table, I summarized what I've just covered in the perspective of a foreign company. I think most of the differences are minor except for the scope of work and getting technical support. So yeah, that concludes my video for today. If you find it helpful, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching and bye.